What's up, everyone? Kevin Allen here. And today, we're getting very serious. In 15 minutes or less, we're going to break down everything you need to know about surviving the coronavirus apocalypse. It's happening now. There's a lot of misinformation out there. So who better to get your advice from than a daily fantasy sports gambler, somebody who makes their living understanding probabilities and risk-reward ratios. So I just got back from the supermarket. The shelves are starting to empty out. The panic is setting in. What do we need to know? Here's the stock market today, down 1,700 points. Follow the money. Now, why is the stock market dropping? Is it dropping because the world is coming to an end? The apocalypse is nigh? No. It's dropping because there is some reason for concern here. A lot more to do with the reaction, the potential quarantines, the inability for people to gather in spaces. That is coming, and I promise you, it is coming. So be prepared. I want to start at the beginning because there's a lot of misinformation out there. And one of my heroes, Dave Portnoy, Stool Presidente, my hero, put out a tweet, and I've seen a lot of stuff like this, and I want you to pay close attention because for the stupid, they see this, the flu. I've heard that a lot. The flu, only 57,000, no one's panicking, but only 3,000 people are dead from the coronavirus. Stop it. Stop with the stupid. Here's what I read out of this quote. 41 million cases of the flu last year and 57,000 people dead. Okay? 41 million people got the flu. 57,000 dead. That's a 0.01% kill rate for the flu. Well, we aren't panicking for the flu. No, because your chance of dying from the flu is 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 10,000. I can't even do the fucking math. It's not a lot. Okay? This should scare the shit out of you if you're talking about. Now, let's take a look at what's happened with the coronavirus so far, which only popped up in late December and has been all efforts have been taken to prevent this shit from spreading. Okay? Let's take a look at 100,000 cases, 4,000 deaths, 62,000 recovered, right? I don't know if this shit is real. Take it with a grain of salt. Now, understand what we're seeing here. 6% death ratio? 13% serious or critical? That's a lot more than the fucking flu. Okay, now, let me scale it back a minute for everybody. Let's not panic. Why? Because this death rate is really, really bad. But I also believe that A, the Chinese numbers are bullshit. We can't believe everything we see from there. B, it's very possible that a lot of people are getting this and it's not being reported. So you're only really hearing about the more serious cases. We don't know. We don't know. But when you see somebody say, 57,000 people, only 57,000 out of 41 million? Now, if the fucking coronavirus hits 41 million people, and why shouldn't it? Okay? Do you know what 3% of 41 million is? 3% of 100 million is 3 million. So that's 1.3 million people. We're not talking about the flu. If the same, now, 1.3 million people out of 41 million. What if it's more than that? But let's just accept 41 million, 1.5 million people. That's a lot of fucking people. Okay? Now, let me ask you this question. If I told you you've got a 1.5 to 2% chance of dying on this bungee jump today, would you still do it? Would you still send your kids like, yeah, go for it. It's 1.5%. No big fucking deal. Would you do that? No. So let's not panic. 1.5, 3%. We don't know. All we could do is be prepared. Now, even a 1.5 to 3% kill rate, if that was the case, and I don't believe it will be, okay? Because I think a lot of these cases are not being reported. So mild. I've seen doctors Fuck doctors. They're full of shit too. But I've seen doctors say, most are so mild you won't even notice it. Fine. We're talking about 1.5%, 3%. That's not enough to destroy global supply. Okay, what does that mean? It mean the food chain, the food supply chain, while it may be disrupted, will not be disrupted to the point where you're going to have 6 months of no food. Nothing like that is going to happen, because this isn't enough. If this was the Black Plague and 30% of humanity was going to die, yes, great. Factory shut down. Your water would turn off. That's not happening here. Okay, your water is going to run. Your gas is going to flow to your house. Your heat will work. Your electricity will work. Okay, so take it down a notch. Take it down a notch. But it does make sense to be prepared. Now, when you go to prepare yourself and prepare your family, what should you really do? Think in your mind about, hey, maybe there's going to be a little bit of disruption. We've never seen empty supermarket shelves before. Like, we got a preview of, I don't want to say, I'm not going to get into it. We're as Americans, we're not used to seeing shelves empty. Go to the fucking Costco, wherever the hell you are. Okay, the lines are to the meat section from the front. You can't get anything. Okay, it's happening now, and in the next few days you will see more, because a lot of people aren't like, shh, don't panic. Don't panic. I agree with that, but be prepared. Now, what kind of shit do you need in your house to be prepared? Well, think about, we're not at the point of buying sardines and Spam. Okay, you don't need to do that. Don't buy sardines. But if there's shit that you normally would eat, that you normally would have, that you like, stock up on it, especially shelf-stable things. So just get a lot. Why? Because, hey, if shit's going crazy outside and, people, the shelves are being emptied out, you might know disease, quarantine in your. Let me keep it simple. If there's a quarantine in your, everybody has to stay home. Okay, everybody's like, what the fuck's going to happen? What if there's a quarantine? Now, you might say, bullshit, there's no fucking quarantine. Italy's got like 16 million people in the quarantine right now. If there's a quarantine, you want to have some shit in your house prepared. Buy stuff that you would normally eat. What is that? Cereal. My favorite thing to stock up on is pasta and pasta sauce. Hey, how you doing? All right? Pasta sauce. Why? Because I fucking eat pasta anyway. It lasts forever. Okay? 1 box of pasta can feed a family of 4 for the day, especially with half a can of sauce. So pasta sauce, tuna fish, those kind of things. For some reason, you can't. The people are going nuts buying toilet paper in the supermarket. Buy some fucking toilet paper. Load it up. Why? Because these things are things you need anyway. It's not psycho to load up on toilet paper. You need that shit anyway. It's fucking toilet paper. You're going to use it. Trust me. Okay? You're going to use the toilet paper. You're going to use the pasta. Love the pasta. Love the pasta sauce. A little tuna fish. Little tuna. Put some shit in your freezer. Don't worry. Your freezer's not turning off. This is not an electricity turns off scenario. You have food in your house that you like. What if you come under quarantine? All right? Just be prepared for that. Load up on, there's a lot of people buying water. Water, I'm not so worried. Your water is going to flow. Like, I believe you'll still have water. You want to be prepared? Buy a Brita filter? Okay. But your water's going to be flowing. Your gas is going to be on. That's not the kind of thing we have going on here at the moment. I don't begrudge anybody being more prepared, but the basics you should have a few weeks worth of supplies in your house. Tuna, again, canned food, lots of canned soup, shit like that. Freeze some bread and bagels, eggs. Well, don't freeze eggs, but those type of things. But definitely load up extra on stuff that you would buy anyway. We're not to the point, again, of buying everything on the shelf. I think that's silly. Buy things that you would use. Prepare them. Set them up in your garage. Set them up in your basement. Just have, again, I was at the supermarket today. A box of pasta, $1. Okay? You get 30 boxes of pasta, 40, 50 boxes of pasta. You could literally survive on that for a month, a couple of months. Now, There won't be anything, in my opinion, that goes beyond that. Now, a couple of basics. Before I get into some of the other things, if you had been following us on DFS Army, or if you follow me and you were a DFS Army person in my channel, you would have sold a lot of your stock off weeks ago because we knew this shit was happening. But I'm getting questions like, hey, should I go on vacation in a couple of weeks? Should I do this? Gatherings are done. Okay? Within a couple of weeks, everything's going to be canceled. Concerts are being canceled already. No one's going to go to this shit. If you're getting married in the next few weeks, in the next few months, man, I'm sorry for you. It doesn't look good. I'm not saying anything's going to happen. It's not looking good for that. Gathering up a bunch of people in a room, it's just not going to happen. It's dangerous. Taking a flight, not good. If you got to get somewhere, go now. There's still time. As this thing expands, there's the potential for things to get worse. Now, here's a couple of basic things that just humanity. Like, I was thinking about the subway. If you go to work and you're taking the subway, I don't care what state you're in, what city, where the fuck you are. If you're going to work, you're taking the subway, you're getting the shit. Okay? There's no fucking entering a subway train. And I just heard the governor of New York came out. Thank you, Governor Cuomo. And said, well, if you see a really packed car, maybe wait for the next one. Are you fucking crazy? If you get in a subway train and touch that shit, you're getting the corona. All right. As soon as this thing starts to heat up, you might as well accept that you're getting it. All right. My ass would be like, fuck that. I ain't getting on a subway. But if you do, you're probably getting the shit at some point. If this thing turns into like the flu, where it's going around and we don't know if it's seasonal, we don't know if the warm weather, we don't know anything. But the idea of getting on a packed subway car is just insane. It's the same thing as an airplane. What are you, nuts? Don't go on a plane unless you have to. Businesses are canceling trips right now. When it comes to your stock portfolio, anything that involves gatherings of people, you need to be wary of that. That stock. Cruise shipping is done. If Carnival Cruise, the U.S. just advised don't get on a cruise ship, it's done. Hotel business, brutalized. Airplane business, brutalized. But other things too, gatherings, stadiums, casinos, all of that, very, very bad. I do think in terms of stock market, if you did listen to me a couple of weeks ago and sold your stocks, that's really good. There will be a great opportunity to buy back this type of thing. This too shall pass. We're not talking about the plague, but a couple of very, very important things for being a normal human being. Okay? If you're sick, let's say you think I'm panicking. That's fine. If you're sick, if you're sneezing, if you're coughing, for the love of God, cover your face. Okay? Don't go to work. Your coworkers don't want you there. Don't go. Let me put the facts up. Don't fucking go to work. Oh, I'm a great worker. Cover your fucking face with your shoulder like this. Okay? Not just because there's a coronavirus, because that's fucking normal human behavior. Cover your face, motherfuckers. Are you crazy? Wash your hands. When you cough, cover your fucking face. Sneeze. Your elbow. Wash your hands. Okay? You should be doing that anyway. That's not about the corona. Just be a human being. Do that shit anyway. For other people, if you're not taking the subway, you still have a shot of not getting this shit. And better not to than to get it. All right? If it's going to go around, the longer you can hold off, chances are 6 months, 8 months, there'll be a vaccine for this thing. So you and your family, you don't need to get it right now. Try to avoid it. If you get it, it's not the end of the world. Again, we see some death rates. Older people, we don't know. Don't want it. Don't want to get it. Better to avoid it. So how are you going to avoid it? You know how people say wash your fucking hands. Don't touch your face all the time. Be conscious of what you're touching. Like, if you go to the gas station and you touch the pump handle, don't walk in your house and touch your face. Okay? Everybody touches that nasty gas handle. If you're pushing buttons on a credit card machine or on the ATM machine, everybody touches those. Watch your fucking hands. Be aware of it. Not going to be able to buy wipes, sandy wipes. So you're going to have to wash your hands a lot more than usual. But just do the things that you should have been doing anyway. Try to avoid this shit. Be a normal human. Beyond that, understand that this too shall pass. Okay? We've not seen something like this before. I haven't seen anything like it. People say, oh, well, the people talking about bird flu, MRSA. The difference was that stuff wasn't spreading, okay? It didn't spread. This thing seems to have legs. There was no stock market collapse because of MRSA or Ebola, okay? Follow the money. The money is telling us, look at this, down to 7%. The money is telling us that we should be taking this serious. A lot of people want to poo-poo things, and I get it. We don't want to panic. A lot of people want to poo-poo. The money is telling us we have to take this serious. If you're not preparing yourself for at least being home for a couple of days, being home for a couple of weeks, for the fact that gatherings are going to probably, if they don't cease, they're going to be minimized for a while, then you're fucking crazy. Schools are shutting down already. Yeah, David's talking about people talking about swine flu and some other bullshit. Bullshit. It didn't. When we talk about the number of people at the beginning of an outbreak, it's such a false statistic. It's so fake. It's so false. Dave, 15 minutes, by the way. We're at 17 minutes. Everybody knows the rules. 15 minutes. Breakdown. Borrowed that from my hero here. Dave. Doesn't matter. 41 million people, 57,000 deaths. I don't care how many people have been killed so far. That doesn't matter. This isn't a history lesson. This is oh shit, a pandemic is starting. It's spreading really fast. It seems to spread really easily. Maybe like the flu. If it spreads like the flu, and you're telling me 41 million people are going to get this, and then we're going to have 3%, 1.5 million dead? Americans? What if it's 100 million people? What if 1 billion people worldwide get this, and you see 3%, 30 million? I mean, we're manipulating statistics here to trick people into downplaying something. I understand why they do that. That's fine. Don't panic other people. The last thing you want to see is panic. But you who are watching this video, you be prepared. Just have some food in your house. Have some preps. Think about what the effects are of gatherings mainly being canceled. What does that affect? What does that affect in the economy? Again, supply chains a little bit disrupted. What does that affect? Doesn't mean people are going to starve. The government's still here. It's not a big enough killer. But if there's quarantines, if there's shit like that, if you get think about if you get quarantined in your house, what did you need? What would you wish that you had prepared with? This isn't being stupid. This is just being practical. Somebody's asking what's wrong with spam. Spam is only good. Yeah. Spam is great if you like it. My point was, don't buy some shit you don't like. All right? Buy what you like to eat. Don't go out. That's why I said spam, but like I was thinking of sardines. The spam came in. Don't buy sardines if you don't like sardines. You know what I'm saying? Like they sell it, it's in a can, or Vienna sausages. Like don't fucking buy that shit if you don't want to eat it. Now, if you normally eat spam, buy a fucking shitload of spam. I like baked beans. So I love them. So I'll buy a bunch of it. Why? Because I'm going to eat it anyway. It's nice. Comes in a can. Lasts forever. That's what I'm talking about. And be prepared to make money on the stock market when the downturn starts to subside. A little bit before. An opportunity, when there's panic, a wise man once said, buy when there's blood in the streets, sell when there's no fear. So the more panic that is setting in, the better for someone who's looking for an opportunity to make some long-term money. So, I prepped about 50% of my stock portfolio for this shit. Weeks ago, it seemed very obvious to me that this thing had legs. Again, we're seeing the sell-off happening. We're seeing the lines at the supermarket. Let the panic set in. Buy into that panic. Don't be greedy when others are fearful. All right, guys. That's it for this one. Anybody who's part of my crew, part of my DFS Army crew, you can hit me up in Slack. We could talk about the shit in the Geek Speak channel. You want to know what to do. This is, I don't know any more than anyone else, but I'm telling you what I do. I'm just sharing what I do. You do what you do you. I do me. I'm telling you what I'm doing. Good luck. Let's get through this. Let not your heart be troubled. This will pass, but be prepared.